Equality and Inclusion
I'm
Officer.
Julian,
The Equality
and I'm
and
currently
Inclusion
running for
Officer
Inclusion and
advocates for
Equality Officer.
marginalised and underrepresented communities at the university. They will address systemic barriers and create an inclusive environment for the university.
Good evening, I'm Yash Patil once again, and this time I'm joined by Julian Deacon, who is running for Equality and Inclusion Officer. Hi Julian, welcome to URY.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, so let's dive into the questions. What has motivated you to run for this position?
I've kind of wanted to do this position ever since I heard about this entire thing way back in A-level. I'm really motivated to help people, especially people who may be underrepresented in voices of power or leadership. So I really wanted to do this role in order to give a platform to those voices that may not be heard as it is.
All right, that's great. So one of the key points as per your manifesto is to promote diversity on campus. And as you're aware that the university is home to a little over 20,000 students, from various countries. So as per your manifesto, you would like to foster a space where students can, from different backgrounds, ethnicities, identities, they can come together, work together, learn from each another. And a main point of action that you have said is to promote diversity through events, workshops, and campaigns. So what type of events would you like to promote more on the campus?
I'd love to promote events focused around months of celebration. So, for example, especially Black History Month is one that comes to mind just because it was so recent. Kind of promote events giving people who either on campus or off campus, like bringing people in who have experience being a person of colour, a Black person, and being able to share their experience and share what they've gone through in order to give a voice to them, but as well as bring awareness to other people's kind of communities and their cultures through information, through possible events, possible meal changes during the month, and things such as that.
Okay. The other point that you mentioned is about discrimination, harassment, and bias. And of course, discrimination, harassment, and bias incidents have no place on our campus. So you said that you would like to improve and build upon the reporting mechanisms and support systems for students, who have experienced such injustice or who have been going through such injustice. So what specific measures do you propose to improve the reporting mechanisms and the support systems? And where do you think the university is currently lacking?
So I think a massive thing is highlighting where they are. So obviously at the start of the year, you get told how to promote things and how to report certain activity. However, throughout the year, you tend to forget, or if something's happened, you may not think it's such a big deal. So by including maybe almost like an anonymous reporting system, that will allow people to feel more confident to report towards people who are trained in taking on such activities, but also be aware that something will happen if they report it, and to feel confident that they will make the university a safer place by reporting it.
Great. And now, one of the most important points is about intersectionality and allyship. So you have mentioned about the possibility of individuals facing compounded marginalization in the manifesto, and your aim to resolve this issue is through dialogue and collective action. So when we speak about collective action, what can a particular individual or an affected group expect?
So massively campaigns and certain actions to stop, because obviously intersexual discrimination is when people are of one of multiple identities that suffer discrimination for that. So by having a dialogue about how that impacts people and then raising awareness and raising money for charities and everything will allow people who have suffered of that to find a place to go if they need to.
Okay. And just to kind of wrap it up, in a community as diverse as our university, representation and empowerment is a major necessity, and especially when it comes to, underrepresented and marginalized students, as you've mentioned in your manifesto. So where do you feel the university is currently lacking, and what steps will you take to ensure that these students have a voice in decision-making processes?
So, as said before, with especially celebratory months, I think the university is lacking in the actions that they take during these months. And in building upon those months, we will give space for those students to be able to say their piece, to say how they feel, to a wider audience, to give them the power to be able to do that.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Julian. You've been a great person. I wish you all the very best. Moving on, let's go on to Studio Red, where we have Zoe Irwin with our next candidate.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.